Destiny in Our Hands, and the 12 Links of Dependent Origination, Life-Changing Buddhist Teachings. Throughout the process of creating this content, I received countless soul-searching questions. Can destiny or a person's fate truly be changed? Why is it that I work tirelessly, yet remain trapped in an endless cycle of struggle with no way out? Meanwhile, others seem to live effortlessly, and yet wealth and opportunities keep flowing their way. And this question lingers even deeper: why do kind-hearted, sincere people still have to endure so much pain, loss, and hardship? All these lingering doubts pushed me to search for a deeper answer. And that's exactly why this video, Destiny in Our Hands and the 12 Links of Dependent Origination, was created. Through the profound wisdom of Buddhist teachings, you may find the answers you've been seeking, and even more importantly, you may gain the insight to rewrite your own fate, and open the door to a life of peace, happiness, and true meaning. Is destiny preordained? The Buddhist science perspective. When you see successful people around you, you yearn to have a life like theirs, and are determined to change. However, when you face difficulties, or obstacles that seem insurmountable, despite your best efforts and hard work, you start to blame fate. You might think, that's just my fate, it's been decided for me, no matter how hard I try, I can't change it. In fact, many people in life think like you. But have you ever wondered, is destiny or fate truly predetermined? Or do you have the power to change your own future? In today's video, we will explore the Buddhist perspective on fate, destiny, and the possibility of transforming destiny. You will learn how you can control your fate, and shape your own future. By the end of this video, you will feel liberated, as no one may have told you this before. The intersection between Buddhism and science, with many real-life examples to prove it. You will no longer have to ask about your fate, nor will you give your fate to anyone to read and judge. You will become a completely different person, full of energy, ready to embrace the beautiful life ahead. We will also discuss the difference between fate and destiny, and how your actions and thoughts can change the course of your life. Stay tuned, because understanding this can completely change how you perceive your future. Part 1: Fate and Destiny, What Can Be Changed and What Cannot. In life, we often hear terms like destiny, and many people believe that these are fixed aspects of life. But from a Buddhist perspective, there is an important distinction between fate and destiny. It's similar to karma, and the law of cause and effect. Fate, this represents the things in life that are beyond our control. It refers to the basic circumstances of your birth, the beginning of your life, and inevitable aspects shaped by past actions, karma, or the laws of nature. Your fate includes things like the family you are born into, your health at birth, and certain significant challenges in life. These things are largely unchangeable, because they are the result of past karma and natural laws. Destiny, unlike fate, destiny can change. Your destiny is influenced by how you live your life in the present moment. This includes your thoughts, decisions, and actions. Although your fate may be preordained, you have the power to control how your destiny unfolds. You can change your life through mindfulness, wisdom, and good actions. Buddhism teaches us that while fate cannot be changed, destiny is something you can proactively shape. You have the full power to transform your destiny by applying wisdom and conscious action in the present moment. You've probably heard of Nik Vujicic, a great example and a living proof of changing destiny. Nik Vujicic is a special man, born without arms and legs, a situation that many would call fate already decided for him. Born with a physical condition that many would consider limiting, Nik faced many challenges in life, from moving around, studying, to difficulties in communication and finding work. For others, such circumstances might lead to feelings of despair, low self-esteem, and resignation to fate. But for Nick Vujicic, he never let his fate define his life. Although fate cannot be changed, since he could not have arms and legs like others, destiny, the path he chooses in life, can completely change. Nick didn't just live a normal life, he made his life an extraordinary and inspiring story for the whole world. As a child teased for his physical differences, Nick Vujicic decided not to let those difficulties defeat him. He did not live in sorrow and helplessness. Instead, he chose to take action to change his destiny. He learned how to use his skills and abilities to overcome challenges. And despite having no arms and legs, Nick learned how to use his feet to accomplish things that others thought were impossible. Nick not only became a famous speaker, with powerful motivational speeches about the strength of will and perseverance, but he also founded a non-profit organization, Life Without Limbs, to help those facing similar challenges, especially those with disabilities, rise above their circumstances. He is also the author of several famous books such as Life Without Limits and Unstoppable, sharing valuable life lessons that he learned throughout his journey. Through these books, Nick aims to inspire everyone to understand that nothing is impossible if we are persistent and determined. Nick Vujicic's story proves that destiny can change, even though fate cannot. Nick did not accept his disability as a fixed fate he had to endure. He changed his mindset from feeling helpless to becoming someone who could inspire millions around the world. Nick Vujicic has proven that, although fate may not change, you can't change uncontrollable factors like being born with a disability, destiny. The path you take, how you live, and how you face challenges, is something you can absolutely change. Don't you see? When you change your destiny, our life will change completely. Part 2, The Power of the Mind, Unlocking Your Full Potential. Now, let's talk about the mind. We only use about 10% of our brain's potential, remember, potential, yet it holds the key to reshaping our destiny. The brain is an incredibly powerful organ, and its potential is far greater than what we usually realize. It functions like a supercomputer, capable of processing and storing information, but most people hardly tap into its immense capacity. In Buddhism, the mind is seen as the root cause of both suffering and liberation. The power of mindfulness and right thinking can transform your life. If we learn to harness the power of our minds, we can change the direction of our lives, changing the conditions of our fate. As Buddha said, "You are what you think." Our thoughts create the conditions for our future experiences. If you cultivate positive thoughts and mindfulness, your actions will follow, and so will the outcomes. This is why Buddhism encourages meditation, to unlock the true potential of your mind, and transform your karmic obstacles. Meditation trains the mind, helping you become aware of your thoughts and actions, and allows you to make conscious decisions to shape a better future. Part 3, How you can change your destiny. So, how can you start changing your destiny? The important thing is to understand that while your fate may not change, you can change your destiny through actions and thought. 1. Develop awareness. The first step in changing your destiny is becoming aware of your current actions and thoughts. Meditation is a powerful tool here, as it helps you observe your inner state. Awareness is the foundation of change. 2. Practice mindfulness. By practicing mindfulness in every moment, you begin to free yourself from automatic reactions. Mindfulness allows you to choose your responses and actions, creating new behavioral patterns that influence your destiny. 3. Cultivate compassion. Compassion is a powerful tool for changing your life. The more compassionate you are with others, the more your mind and life will change. Buddhism teaches that we create positive karma through selfless acts of kindness, which will ultimately change the course of our lives. 4. Take action. As you develop awareness and compassion, the next step is to take action. Destiny changes through conscious actions. This means making decisions that align with your values and long-term goals. 5. Believe in your potential. The most important part of this transformation is believing in yourself. If you believe you can change your destiny, you will activate the true potential of your brain. The brain is a powerful tool. If you believe in its ability to learn and adapt, you will unlock the doors to infinite possibilities. And if you think you can't do something, science has shown that the brain will shut down, and you won't be able to do it. Part 4. Buddhist Science, the path to changing your life. In Buddhism, we do not rely on prayers or rituals to change our fate. Instead, Buddhism is the science of the mind. A practical method for transforming how we perceive and react to life. By practicing mindfulness, meditation, and wisdom, we can change the conditions of our lives. You do not have to wait for an external force to change your destiny. You have everything you need right now. The power to change your life lies in the choices you make today. Think of it this way: the mind is like a garden. If you plant the seeds of mindfulness and compassion, they will grow into positive outcomes. If you nourish thoughts of greed, anger, or fear, they will manifest as negative results. The key is to plant good seeds. In conclusion, it is important to understand that while your fate may not change, your destiny is in your hands. Through the power of mindfulness, compassion, and conscious action, you can change the course of your life. The Buddhist path is not about surrendering to fate, but about proactively transforming it so you can live a meaningful and peaceful life, through the power of the mind and the science of wisdom. Remember, you have the power to create the future you desire. Your mind is a powerful tool, and by learning how to use it wisely, you can change your destiny. If you are ready to take control of your destiny, start today by practicing mindfulness and making conscious decisions that align with your goals. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel Destiny Lies in Your Hands, to watch more videos on how to shape your future with the wisdom of Buddhism. Breaking the links of dependent origination, changing your destiny through Buddhism. Welcome to Destiny Lies in Your Hands, where your journey towards liberation from suffering begins. Today, we're diving deep into something truly transformative, something that can change the way you see the world, and your place in it. The 12 Links of Dependent Origination, explaining how suffering, death, and rebirth keep us trapped in the endless cycle of samsara. But here's the secret: it doesn't have to be this way. You're incredibly fortunate to have found this video. Please leave a comment below: I want to change my destiny, I want a better life. This will be the introductory video for the journey to change your destiny, but it contains the most core knowledge. You'll find yourself wondering, why didn't I know this before? Buddhist knowledge will truly enlighten your mind. Have you ever felt stuck in life, unable to break free from patterns that seem to control your destiny? Have you ever wondered why certain things keep repeating, no matter how hard you try to change? The 12 Links of Dependent Origination hold the answer. Today, we will explore how attachment, craving, and ignorance bind us to the cycle of life, and how understanding these links can free us from this cycle forever. Stick with me until the end, because in this video, I'll show you the step-by-step process to break the chains that are holding you back. and step into the freedom you truly deserve. The 12 Links of Dependent Origination. The 12 links of dependent origination are a series of interconnected links that explain how the cycle of suffering in samsara continues. By understanding these links, we can become aware of the origins of our suffering in life, and walk the path to liberation. Here's a breakdown of each link in the chain of dependent origination. 1. Ignorance, avidya, the root of all suffering. Ignorance is the lack of understanding of the true nature of life. When we don't realize that everything is impermanent, that suffering exists, and that there is no permanent self, we live in delusion. This ignorance then leads to wrong actions, sankhara, which guide us into an endless cycle of suffering. A person is always chasing money and fame, thinking that these will bring everlasting happiness. But in reality, these things are impermanent, and when they are lost, the person feels disappointment and suffering. If we don't recognize the true nature of life, and the world around us, we continue to chase meaningless things, thus nurturing further suffering. 2. Volitional actions, sankhara, actions that create karma. Wrong actions arise from ignorance. These actions can be thoughts, words, and deeds born out of misunderstanding. Each action creates karma, and it is these karmas that lead to suffering in the future. A person may act out of greed or hatred, causing harm to others to achieve personal goals. These actions create negative karma, and in the future, they will have to bear the consequences. Every action we perform, whether good or bad, has consequences in the future. By understanding this, we can begin to change our actions and reduce suffering. 3. Consciousness, vijnana, distorted perception. Consciousness is our awareness of the world, but when wrong actions have been formed, consciousness will also be distorted. We view the world through the lens of our desires and fears, failing to see the true nature of things. A person focuses solely on accumulating wealth, and as a result, their consciousness is shaped by material desires. This prevents them from seeing that wealth is not the key to everlasting happiness. Our perception is always influenced by desires and anxieties. To break the cycle of suffering, we must change the way we perceive the world and live with wisdom. 4. The six senses, contact, and feeling. When consciousness leads to the development of the six senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind, we begin to come into contact with the world around us. Through this contact, we experience feelings pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. When you see a delicious meal, you experience joy, feeling. If you cling to that joy, you will want to eat more, and seek out similar feelings in the future. Feelings are temporary. If we cling to these feelings, we will continue to nourish craving, and create suffering. Understanding that feelings are impermanent helps us avoid being swept away by them. 5. Craving, tra with makron, and attachment, upadana. When feelings are stimulated, craving arises, a desire to hold on to those things that bring us pleasure. Attachment is the act of holding on, clinging to those objects we desire. You may crave a particular object, a job position, or a relationship. When you begin to attach to these things, you define happiness and self-worth based on them. If we understand that everything is impermanent, and there is no self, we will easily let go and no longer cling to these fleeting things, thus avoiding suffering. 6. Existence, bhava, the preparation for rebirth. When we cling to desires and feelings, we enter into existence, the preparation for a new life. This is the stage where we create karma and exist in a state of readiness for birth. A person who is immersed in craving, power, and status will create karma that forces them to be reborn in similar circumstances in the next life. Existence is the time when actions and attachments in the present form the foundation for future life. We can change our karmic force by becoming aware and taking right action. 7. Birth, Jati, the beginning of life. Birth is the beginning of a new life, where all the actions from existence are born into reality. This marks the start of a new cycle of suffering. A child is born carrying karma from a past life. The child's life will be influenced by actions from the past. When we are born, we carry not only a body, but also the karmic force, which will continue to guide us in the next life. If we don't change our karma, we won't be able to escape the cycle of samsara. 8. Old age and death, Jarmarat, the end of life. Finally, old age and death mark the end of a life. However, death is only the beginning of a new cycle of rebirth, if the karmic force hasn't ended. As a person grows old, their health deteriorates, and death draws near. However, if karma remains, they will continue to be reborn in a new life. Death is the end of one life, but also the continuation of samsara, if we haven't liberated ourselves from karma. As we've seen today, the 12 links of dependent origination are not just a philosophical concept. They are the blueprint to understand and overcome suffering. From ignorance to death, these links show us how our desires and attachments create the very suffering we experience in this life and the next. But the power to break free is in your hands. By practicing mindfulness, wisdom, and the Eightfold Path, you can begin to dissolve these links one by one. Start by recognizing your attachments, letting go of what no longer serves you, and accepting the impermanence of life. When we finally release the grip of craving and attachment, we open the door to true freedom. The freedom to live without fear, without suffering, and without the endless cycle of birth and death. So, ask yourself, are you ready to break the cycle and change your destiny? The choice is yours. Remember, your path to liberation starts with awareness. Watch again if needed, reflect, and take the next step toward the life you've always wanted to live.